Listen, I'm gonna tell you, my journey with my father was a beautiful and interesting and complex journey. And I'm so different than him, yet I'm so identical. It's fucking weird. Right? So as I was growing up, when I was seeing, well, first he's coming from another country and he lives in a very different way than Americana and urban culture. So when you're brainwashed by this shit, you're like, you look at him, you're like, you're a geek, I don't want to be like you. So my first instinct is to reject him. So I didn't have role models, so who became my role models? The fucking morons on TV. Who not only are morons on TV, not only are cartoon characters controlled by the media and controlled by corporations to sell me products, on top of that, their ethnicity is 100% different than mine. And their background is 100% different than mine. Right? It's American, we're talking about urban culture, so we're talking about blacks who are born in the ghetto. I'm like, I'm so far from that. I think white America is closer to that than a person who's born in a whole other country in a different circumstance. Like, it's so, like, there's no rapport. So you're watching this like a moron because you don't have a father figure and you're looking for anything to represent that masculine energy. And they want to sell you, that's at least originally, that's what the hip hop culture is trying to say. It's like, we are the supermen. So you're seeing this and you don't understand because you're an idiot. You have no sense. You don't have any guidance. And even if your father would tell you this is bullshit, because my father told me this is bullshit, imagine comes from Egypt, and then you see these idiots on TV. Like, we drive on the highway into the pyramids, and you're looking at these morons who can't even, with their pants medeldelin, that means like they're hanging. You can't even attach their pants properly, right? And you're like, this is a clown. Right? But you're so influenced by the energy coming out, and he doesn't understand that energy because it's like, this is noise. He would tell me, this is noise, I don't understand. I'm like, this is not noise, man, you don't understand. Right? So you're like being brainwashed by culture, and culture is literally fucking you up your ass, and you don't understand that. And you're taking it in, and you try to now emulate what you see. Right? I'm telling you, I grew up in the golden age of so-called hip-hop. Means hip-hop was starting to spread like the gospel of truth. So people used to speak in a particular kind of way. I don't know if I told you these stories. I probably have. My friends used to go to New York City and Brooklyn, and they would bring the New York's Brooklyn vibe, the Queens vibe, the cassettes with the latest stuff. That you couldn't buy this anywhere. Right? So they would bring that, and my buddy he's a geek from the suburbs, right? And he goes to private school. Now he go to New York, he go to Brooklyn, wherever he be at, and he coming with his fat goose, and I had the Tim Boots, he didn't have the Tim Boots, but it doesn't really matter. And then I'm like, whoa, this is not the same guy. He had a vibe now, right? And so you're like a little shit insecure fucker. You don't have role models for masculinity. You're right. And he's coming now with this vibration, and you're like, whoa, man, like he's literally on something. And I can feel that. And it's got like a certain, like, hip hop. It's called hip hop. So those who know hip hop know exactly what I'm talking about. Before it became over exaggerated, right? And stupefied to the extremists. So you're like, whoa, this is a power. This is literally a power. I want a piece of that. So you want to take it and kind of emulate it, and then you listen to the music, you're trying to take it in, and your own father's looking at you and saying, what's happening to my son? So my first reflex was to reject everything from him because I saw no value of it. I didn't even see the value that he's making money and paying because the household is run by the mother. He's the beta male provider, literally. I don't want to use these Manispherian terms, but this is literally what it is. So the beta male provider has no respect in his own house. So you don't respect that he's making $100-some thousand a year and he's a master engineer. You don't care about that because in the household, even though in our culture, mom serves the food and acts like the subservient wife, she's not. She's running the shit. So you don't respect that. You don't even understand that. You just take it for granted. You don't understand what kind of mind and intelligence does that. You don't understand what it means to leave your country and survive and come to a new country and bring your whole crew and your whole community. None of that is there. So I just rejected this. So here I am, half of a man, trying to emulate something that I'm not. To a certain degree, I could succeed. So let's say I got 80, 85% in my capacity to emulate what I'm seeing. It's still 85%. Some person is authentic, 100%. You can't defeat that person. So provided some level of success, but it's not real and it's not who I am. A part of it resonates, but it's just not who I am. So you, at some point when you start to mature, like, well, who am I? What do I have? What am I? But you've like threw out half of yourself. And of course, generally when you're in such households, you identify to the mother. You identify to the mother qualities, the mother energies. The mother has, of course, a masculine side and a feminine side. But this is what, so you take, yeah, but wait, but my mom is she's a woman, so she's emotional. She responds, she's fucking intense. You gotta love her intensity. My intensity comes from her. She's intense, she's fiery, whatever the fuck she wants to do, she does it. She does it until she succeeds. There's lots of qualities, not to remove the qualities of my mother, but it's the mother energy. She doesn't have a brain. It doesn't build fucking electrical power plants. It doesn't have that genius. It's just raw. It's like a bull, right? So you identify. So I'm behaving like this, and he's looking at me. It's like my son's just a fucking idiot, right? And I'm looking at him. And I'm like, I'm never gonna. I don't want to be like you. 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 And there's like a deep inherent conflict, and he's trying to give you the very best that he has while he has his own issues. Right? But he's still trying to give you the best, but you're rejecting it because all you're seeing is a loser compared to what Americana is selling you. You don't appreciate it. You've been taught not to appreciate it. Anyways, I'm going to skip. So through my journey into manhood, through my healing process, at some point, you start to understand, like, I can't get away from who he is. I am that. Now, what kind of idiot would throw all of that? My father's a genius. That's mine. These are my gifts. Why the hell am I rejecting that? Because that's not gangster. I'm like, well, I'll show you, gangster. That's when I started to like mature. And I had found a teacher at that point who started to set me straight and educate me about life and educate about, right? So I'm like, yeah, fuck, man. This guy's a genius. Why would I not have access to that? It's natural for me. I don't even have to try. It's what I do. I've always done it. I'm just rejecting it or pretending it's not there, and I'm not developing it consciously. What kind of moron does that? This kind of moron. An idiot that consumes Americana, drinks Mountain Dew and all this fucking poison, and it's refined sugar, and it's Oreo cookies that just make you dumber and dumber with each fucking bite, and you finish it off with a fucking McDonald's. That's what happens. That's the food that idiots eat. It's not the food that makes you dumb. You're an idiot, and the food just participates and catalyzes your stupidity. They come hand in hand. This is not a subject about food. We'll do the food later, another point in time. I promise you and I assure you. So the point is, in my journey, at some point, as I calmed the fuck down, I started to like get a sense of reality. I started to like say, no, this is mine. I'm taking it. And whatever he's done, I'm going to take it, I'm going to take it to the next level. Now, the next level he may not understand, nor does he need to understand, right? Can an iPhone 18 speak to an iPhone 4 and would the iPhone 4 understand? No, but the iPhone 18 is built on the iPhone 4. It's the same foundation. So therefore, the iPhone 18 respects the iPhone 4, and the iPhone 4 looks at the iPhone 18 and says, listen, you do what you got to do, man. I'm good, thank you. Right? I don't want to know how to do this. This is too complicated. You have 18 cameras. Dude, I have one. It's more than enough. But I see that you're good. You just go over there. Hell antizi. Get the fuck off my ass. Right? So there's a respect, but there's a respect. You be the 4-camera thing and go take pictures of asses on Instagram over there. Okay? Good. I'm proud of you. You're good. I've done my job. I've passed the torch. I don't even want to know what you're doing because I don't care. I don't have the mindset for this, nor the energy, and I don't care. I'm good with my iPhone 4. You understand? So there can be a place where there's a maturity and a beauty. But first you got to take that energy, you got to do something with it, and you got to also bring the mother energy in. That means the mother's attributes, and bring them together which then births you. You have to become your parents, literally. You have to take the father energy inside of you, the mother energy in you. You have to find a place where they harmonize, even though they may very well be unharmonizable. You still have to find the place where they harmonize, and it now births you, your energy, and what it is that you're able to do, which is beyond what daddy is capable of doing. That's why you're born in the first place, to go beyond him. But it's not beyond him ungrounded, away from him. No, my father's an electrical genius engineer. Well, I'm a cosmic electrical genius. I'm using the same mind he does, except I've applied it to creation instead of a machine that makes electricity. Same. And when we used to talk about this stuff, when my relationship with him was mature, he understood exactly what I was talking about. It's just like, listen, this is a little too far off for me, but I know exactly what you're saying, because it's the same. We're talking about power grids. I'm talking about a cosmic power grid. He's like, yeah, I get it. It's great. And then he goes about his business. This is like, well, you do what you got to do now. But we understand each other, because this is the foundation. That's what I'm trying to say. But first I had to be disillusioned. And the disillusionment is that whatever is sold to me is a shit, it's a lie, it's a con. These fucking morons at the strip joints, these are idiots. These are morons, literally. If there was any sanity on earth, they would make these companies pay for abuse. You're abusing these teenagers and dumbing them down and making them go totally opposite of everything that's healthy, and you're ruining their existence so that you can sell them on TV. Like this idiot that dresses like his face is tattoos everywhere. I'm like, what kind of moron? Like, who does that? I don't even want to say his name. I know his name. What? Like, poor person. And that's what you're selling to kids. So first that had to be like slowly dissolved. And a lot of us use movies to find connection and role models. I'm like, this is not a real person. James Bond is not a real person. Tyler Durden is not a real person. This is not real. This is fiction. This is there to entertain you. Some elements may have a little moment of reality or a little essence of reality. This is not real. You cannot use a movie character as an inspiration. So all that shit had to be slowly removed so that you can come to a place where you're sober and you can start to assess, well, who I am today, what do I have, what can I work with, what's broken, what can I fix, where is there a challenging between the meeting of that energy and that energy, how am I going to bring this together, by which process, and to allow all of that to grow. Essentially, you're growing a plant, which is you. You're building an edifice. You are the Temple of Solomon. So you have to build that fucking you have to build that temple. You have the grounds, and you have a bunch of fucking rocks that are unpolished. Some are polished, all over the fucking place. And you're supposed to build a Temple of Solomon in which the Ark of the Covenant exists, which gives you the power, access to the power of God, right? These are just beautiful, whatever word, metaphor, analogy, something like this. I think you understand what I mean. So it's your job to figure it out. And if we lived in a healthy world, you wouldn't have a mess like this. There would be already order. You would still have to build a temple. You could build an extension to the temple. You can build a temple over there that is connected to that temple. It would be a different setup, but you still have to build the temple, right? So you have the material, so how are you going to put it together? Yeah, but how the fuck you build a temple? You don't even know how to build anything. Even when I talk to you, you don't even understand what I'm trying to say. You have to build the temple in which you're going to live. So some of you I know understand what I'm trying to say. And it's not just, the temple cannot just look good from the outside. That's called big muscles. I had a beautiful temple from the outside, 8-pack, belly ring, big ass pecs. So you go to the beach and stupid ass bitches think you're the man. Because you got a beautiful temple from the outside. Yeah, but from the inside, ain't nothing inside. Ain't nothing, it's all rotten from the inside, or there's nothing inside. In fact, maybe there's not even a temple, it's just a wall, like that one. This is a wall. That's all there is a wall. Ha! But we can stay at the wall. We can bang in front of the wall and take pictures of it, and people will think it's great. That's what you average fuckers are. Some of you don't even have a good wall, you fucking losers. You don't even have a good wall. Imagine. So, building a temple is an art. And that's essentially at the essence of Freemasonry. That's what real Freemasonry was about. Let's not get into this Illuminati bullshit. The real Freemasonry was what? You need to learn how to build a temple in which you're going to live. It's an art form. I'm not saying that that's what Freemasons are doing. I'm saying that's what the essence is trying to say. Right? So I'm sharing it with you. So how do I build a temple in which I'm going to live, which is everything about the temple is healthy? Let's imagine you got to build a temple. You have to have water streams. You have to have sewage. You have to have electricity or the form of lighting. Everything has to be well organized. Everything has to be, it's complicated to make a temple. Then there's secret chambers, and then there's like the holy chambers, and then there's the holy of holies, and there's a bunch of things. And there's a place where the people hang out, and then there's the places where you bang. In my mansion there are many rooms. That's some kind of quote from the Bible that homeboy Jesus said. Maybe it's not their exact words, but that's what he's saying. In my house, there's a lot of spots, and they all connected perfectly. And you may not have access to all of them, but you should. Now, how are you going to have access to that? I digress without digressing. The point is, it's your job to learn how to build a temple unless somebody teaches you and shows you how to do it and shows you that it can be done. Well, how are you going to do it? And when you look around, what do you see? You see desecrated fucking things that kind of look like whatever the fuck. Everybody's trying their best. Everybody's trying their best. But what do you see? Either they have nothing, either it's just rubbles, either it's fake, either it's made of little wood pieces, 3 little pigs. Either there's only one room, either it's half a room but it's invaded by some fucking tarantula. Like, it's all kinds of, just look around. If you understand what I'm saying, you'll start to see, it's like, wow, this is something. So, to each his own. I'm not here to judge. I don't give a fuck what you do. It's not my problem. I care about myself. I'm just telling you the process. And how are you going to do that? So you need land. That's mom, the mother energy. And you need material. That's father. And how they come together. And you need to bridge those energies within yourself while learning how to build all of that. You need some guidance. You need to sober the fuck up. And then you need to see where you're at and assess what you have. And you start from where you are. And there's no point in dreaming or wanting to be something you're not. When I was a kid, I was some kind of an athlete, and all I wanted was my father to be an athlete, of course, right? And I was very upset. One time I had soccer practice, and we ended up having some kind of scrimmage, and my father was there. He was never there, and he came to play, and I got so fucking humiliated because he was so bad. And as we walked home, I screamed from the top of my lungs. I'm like, you just fucking humiliated me. Sports were my life. I'm like, you don't know how to kick the ball. And he looked at me, he's like, and so what? I'm like, what do you mean, and so what? Like, this is my life, and and of course I don't understand what he's really capable of, but the real point of what I'm trying to say is like, well, you are what you are, because I clearly didn't have the skill set to become LeBron James. But I definitely had something. And was I smart enough, I would have taken it way earlier. If I would have been properly guided, because I don't want to be an engineer. That's why I went to engineering school, in case you didn't know, because I didn't know what to do, and it came naturally to me to be an engineer. I'm like, well, I don't have to try, and I kind of figure it out, right? Because I've been formatted to think like an engineer before I'm born. So to grow and to become a man, whatever that means, is a complex. And it's for everyone, but not everyone will do it. It's unfortunate. And there's a lot of forces that are trying to make your life difficult or want to prevent you from discovering what it means and what your power really is. And the power of manhood is not a power over someone, which is what you're being shown systematically. I'm a man, that means I crush you. That's not a man. That's a sick person. But this is what we have to contend with. This is the reality we live in. So I'm here to just remind you, heart to heart, and say, no, this is not men. Men are not limited to fucking each other over to prove to themselves that they're superior to the next one. That's a sick person. But the fact that this exists is a fact, and it's not. You need to learn how to manage and navigate through this, and you don't have an excuse. I had to learn it, dude. You got to learn how to move, dance, and flow, because you don't know who you meet, and you're not going to change the world. And if you can't adapt yourself to what's happening, you're a fucking moron because you're weak. So you still have to learn. But it don't mean that I have to do that, and I don't have to. I can live according to my own standards. And I can appreciate a person. I'm not like, yeah, you threw a missile at me. Yeah, but I can move. So thanks for the practice. And that's it.